Welcome, beloved soul. I invite you to breathe deeply, to let the noise of the world quiet down for just a little while, and to receive these words not with your mind alone, but with your heart. For I have come to remind you of something holy, something tender, something true. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Yes, I know the ache you have carried, the nights when silence felt heavier than words, the mornings when hope seemed too fragile to hold on to, the questions that pressed against your chest, wondering if what was broken could ever be made whole again. And yet, in the unseen places, God was working, not only in your life, but in theirs. Even when they turned away, His hand was never lifted from their path. Even when you thought the story had ended, He was writing a deeper chapter. This is the way of love when it is planted by heaven itself. It does not die when circumstances shift. It does not vanish when people falter. It waits. It bends but does not break. It trusts the God who is greater than time, stronger than distance, and wiser than human weakness. Listen closely, dear soul. What left you was not lost to you. What walked away was not erased from God's design. For love that is ordained has a way of circling back, carried by divine winds, escorted by angels who whisper, "This is not the end." Perhaps they thought they were choosing freedom. Perhaps they thought they were escaping the weight of what they felt. Perhaps they believed life had something better, easier, or safer elsewhere. And yet, as they stepped away, they found themselves haunted by a quiet knowing that no matter where they went, a part of their soul was still with you. Do you understand? They could not escape what God had written. They could not undo what heaven had sealed. For when the Lord ordains a bond, no amount of wandering can sever it. And so, their walking away was never truly a departure. It was a journey necessary for them, painful for you, but still under the hand of God, because sometimes hearts must travel far in order to discover that their home was with you all along. Think of the prodigal son. He left his father's house. He thought he would find fullness elsewhere, but in the distance he discovered emptiness. And the same God who let him wander was the God who stirred his return. That story is not just about wayward children, it is about love, about reunion, about the kind of mercy that waits at the door. And I tell you today, you are that open door. You are the safe place that heaven has prepared for their return. You are the one whose heart has been softened, not by bitterness, but by grace. You are the one chosen to mirror God's patience, even when it felt impossible. Do not think your tears were wasted. Do not think your prayers were unheard. Every sigh of your soul was gathered in heaven's hands. Every longing you whispered into the night was cradled by the Father. He has seen, He has remembered, and He has been guiding their steps back toward you. Yes, they walked away, but God never stopped leading them. He allowed them to wander, but He set boundaries around their path. He let them taste what life was like without the love He gave them in you. And He stirred a restlessness in their spirit that nothing else could satisfy. Even now, they are beginning to see it. That the very love they thought they could set aside was the very love that completes them. That the bond they thought was optional is actually sacred. That what they walked away from is what their soul has been searching for all along. This is why you must not give up, precious one. Not because of wishful thinking. Not because of clinging to what hurts. But because the Spirit of God has been confirming it within you, that this love was written not by your hand, but by His. And so, wait with hope. Wait not in despair, but in trust. Because the God who led them away for a season is the same God who will lead them back for a lifetime. I want to pause here and speak directly to your heart, dear listener. If this word has been touching you deeply, if you feel the Spirit stirring within, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe so that you may continue receiving gentle guidance for your journey. Share your reflections or your prayer requests in the comments. Your voice matters, your story matters, your healing matters. And if you feel led, share this message with someone who may also need the reminder that love can circle back by God's hand. And for those who wish to go deeper in support, offering a super thanks helps this channel carry these words to more souls who are weary and waiting. It is never demanded, only received with gratitude, as a way of spreading the light of peace farther into the world. Now let us return to the truth that brought you here. They walked away. But even in their absence, they were being prepared. Prepared to see your worth with clearer eyes. Prepared to love with greater depth. Prepared to return not half-hearted, but whole. Sometimes separation is the soil where maturity grows. Sometimes distance is the fire that burns away pride and illusion. Sometimes absence is the mirror that reveals the truth of one's heart. And that is what has been happening in them. You too have been transformed. You are not the same person you were when they left. Your wounds have softened into wisdom. Your waiting has strengthened your faith. Your loneliness has deepened your intimacy with God. So when they come back, it will not be a simple reunion. It will be the meeting of two souls who have both been reshaped by grace. The enemy wanted you to believe their leaving was rejection. But in God's hands, it became preparation. The enemy wanted you to see their absence as abandonment. But in God's hands, it became the path of return. The enemy wanted you to think the story was over. But in God's hands, the story is just beginning. Hold fast, beloved. Do not grow weary in waiting. For the same God who kept you is the same God who has been guiding them. And when the moment comes, you will see with your own eyes that love does not die when God has breathed upon it. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Welcome back, dear soul. Settle your spirit once again, for these words are meant to rest gently upon your heart. This is not just a story, it is your story. And today, I want to guide you deeper into the mystery of why God allowed them to walk away, and how He was always leading them back to you. Do not mistake their departure as abandonment. It was not rejection of your worth. It was a journey one, permitted by heaven not to harm you, but to shape both of you into the vessels you were meant to be. Sometimes, God allows separation because He knows what is not ready cannot yet stay. A love given too soon can crumble under the weight of immaturity. A bond embraced without wisdom can wound instead of heal. And so God, in His mercy, allowed them to step away. Not as punishment, but as preparation. Not as cruelty, but as kindness. Not as the end, but as a pause. Think of Moses in the wilderness. 40 years wandering before he could step into destiny. Think of Joseph in the prison. Years of delay before he stood in the palace. What looks like delay in the eyes of man is divine timing in the hands of God. And your love story, dear one, is no different. Yes, they walked away. Yes, you were left with silence, questions, aching prayers. But while you wondered why, God was working. He was teaching you patience, building your endurance, cleansing your heart of anything that could not remain. And in them, He was stirring, breaking, softening, until the time came when they could no longer deny that the road away from you was never truly theirs to walk. You may not have seen it, but in their solitude, God was speaking. In their wandering, He was whispering. He was turning their gaze back to what they once overlooked. Back to you, for no matter how far they traveled, they could not escape the echo of your love. Your laughter would rise in their memory. Your prayers would cover them in unseen ways. Your presence lingered in the places of their spirit that no one else could touch. This is how God leads His soul back through whispers, through restlessness, through the gentle pulling of love that was never meant to be undone. And though they may not have understood it at first, they are beginning to see now. The person they left is the very person they cannot live without. Beloved, take comfort in this truth. When God ordains a union, no distance, no pride, no confusion can destroy it. It may bend, it may be delayed, but it cannot be erased. Think of Ruth and Boaz. Think of Isaac and Rebekah. Think of the countless stories woven through Scripture, where love was not about accident or chance, but about God's divine orchestration. Your story belongs to that same tapestry. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen to carry a love that heaven itself has authored. So even in the waiting, even in the silence, even in the ache of what seemed lost, you are still within the story of return. They walked away, but every step was leading them back to you. And I want to pause here, dear one, to speak gently to your spirit. If this word is nourishing your heart, I invite you to walk more closely with this channel. Subscribe so that the river of peace may keep flowing into your days. Share your reflections or your prayer requests in the comments below. Your voice may be the encouragement someone else has been waiting for. Consider sharing this message with a friend or loved one who feels the heaviness of waiting, so that hope may be multiplied. And if this message has blessed you deeply, offering a super thanks helps these teachings travel farther, reaching souls who may not otherwise hear the reminder of God's love. It is never demanded, only received with gratitude, as part of spreading light where darkness lingers. Now let us return, for the Spirit is still speaking. You see, their leaving was not meant to break you. It was meant to refine you. It was meant to deepen your reliance on God, so that your joy, your peace, your hope would not rest on another person, but on Him. Because when they return, God desires you to receive them, not out of desperation, but out of wholeness. Not out of emptiness, but out of fullness. Not with a heart clinging in fear, but with a heart overflowing in love. That is why He has kept you, even through tears. That is why He has comforted you, even in loneliness. That is why He has carried you, even when you felt like letting go. Because you were never abandoned. He was shaping you into the one who could welcome them back with grace instead of bitterness, with peace instead of resentment, with faith instead of doubt. And in them, He has been doing the same. Their pride has been humbled. Their illusions have been stripped away. Their wandering has left them empty-handed, only to realize that fullness was always waiting with you. This is the mercy of God. He allows the wilderness, but He leads His children back to the promised land. So do not fear. Do not dwell on how long it has been. Do not let the enemy's whispers convince you that time has stolen your blessing. For the author of time is still writing, and His story is never late. They walked away, but every step has been part of the circle. And circles, by their very nature, always return to where they began. Beloved, hear this deeply. The love that God planted in you was not in vain. It has purpose. It has endurance. It has destiny. And no matter how the journey twists and turns, God's hand is steady, guiding them back to the place where they were always meant to be, beside you. And when that moment comes, you will see with new eyes. You will understand why the pain was necessary. You will realize that the tears watered the soil for joy. You will witness firsthand that the God who allows separation is also the God who delights in reunion. Rest, then, in His timing. Do not rush what heaven is still preparing. For the day will come when their footsteps find their way back to you, not by accident, not by force, but by divine leading. And your heart will know it was God all along. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Welcome, beloved. Come again into this sacred space of calm and presence. Breathe deeply. Let your heart unclench. Let your soul remember that it is safe here in the arms of divine truth. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Let these words sink slowly into the quiet places of your spirit. For this is not just comfort, it is revelation. A knowing from heaven that no distance, no pride, no misstep could undo what God has woven together. Do you remember the longing you felt when they left? The silence that pressed against your chest? The nights when tears fell like gentle rain, soaking your pillow in prayer? Each of those moments was not wasted. Each of those moments was a thread woven by God into the fabric of what was coming. Even their walking away was part of His plan, not a punishment, not a rejection, but a divine preparation, a movement of His Spirit that was both gentle and strong. For He knows the hearts of His children. He sees what we cannot see, and He orchestrates what we cannot comprehend. Sometimes souls must be separated to truly understand the depth of love. Sometimes hearts must wander to realize the direction. They were always meant to return. Sometimes absence is the lens through which clarity comes. And so, they walked away not to leave you, but to discover what they could not see before. And in that discovery, they are now turning gently toward you once more. Beloved, can you feel the peace of this truth? Even now the Spirit of God is moving quietly behind the scenes. Even now, unseen hands are nudging them back. Even now, every choice, every step, every thought that seemed random or lost has been guided toward reunion. Do not doubt this. Do not grow weary. Do not let fear whisper that it is too late. For nothing in heaven or earth can frustrate the plan of God. And the plan is this: love will return to you exactly when it is meant to. Pause for a moment and imagine it. Their footsteps drawing closer, their heart awakening to the truth. There, eyes seeing you not as they once did, but as God sees you now, whole, radiant, and ready to receive what was always theirs to cherish. Even now, God is softening their heart. Even now, He is clearing the obstacles that kept them away. Even now, He is preparing the moment when they will stand before you, not with hesitation, but with clarity and devotion. Because God does not rush, but He does not fail. Beloved, if these words are speaking to your soul, let me invite you once more to engage with this peaceful space. Subscribe so that these messages of hope and love may continue to reach your heart. Leave a comment with your reflections or a prayer request. Your journey matters, and sharing it invites grace. Share this message with someone who needs the gentle reminder that God's timing is perfect. And if the Spirit has moved in you, offering a super thanks allows this channel to carry such guidance to other souls seeking comfort and assurance. All gifts are received with gratitude and humility, knowing that together we are nurturing hearts that long for divine peace. Return your attention now to the heart of this teaching. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Think of the patience that God has shown you. Think of the endurance He has built within your spirit. Think of the trust He has been cultivating, even in moments of doubt. All of this is preparation. For when they return, it will not be just a meeting. It will be a sacred alignment of two souls who have both been refined in His love. Do not rush the moment. Do not question the path. Do not despair over delays. For love that is written by God's hand is never lost. It may bend, it may stretch, it may feel fragile, but it cannot break. And when they come back, it will be different. It will be a deeper understanding, a truer appreciation, a love that is stronger, gentler, and more sacred than what was before. For God's refining fires do not destroy love, they purify it. They prepare it to endure every storm, every shadow, every challenge that life may bring. Beloved, hear this with every fiber of your being: you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are the resting place of God's love. And they are being drawn back, led by the hand of the one who never makes mistakes, never overlooks, and never forgets. So stand in peace. Stand in trust. Stand in the knowledge that what has been ordained by heaven cannot be undone by human fear, pride, or missteps. Even their wandering was under God's gaze. Even their hesitation was within His plan. Even their distance was a passage toward the moment of return. Take a deep breath, dear one. Release the pain that was never meant to be permanent. Release the worry that has burdened your heart. Release the doubt that whispers lies about love. And hold fast to the truth. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Rest now in that promise. Let it sink into every cell of your being. Let it soothe every wound, calm every fear, and strengthen every hope. For love that is touched by heaven is never lost. And the God who writes your story is faithful to the very last line. And when they return, it will be the culmination of all that has been endured, and all that has been believed. It will be the union of hearts refined by God. It will be the miracle of His timing revealed. It will be the sacred confirmation that nothing in life is wasted when God is at the helm. Beloved, close your eyes if you wish, and breathe in this truth. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. And in that knowledge, rest. In that knowledge, trust. In that knowledge, rejoice. For love, true and divine, always finds its way home. Welcome, beloved soul. Come again into this quiet place where God's love speaks softly to your heart. Breathe in the peace that surrounds you. Release all fear, all doubt, all weight that has pressed upon your spirit. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Yes, I know the moments when absence felt endless, the days when hope seemed fragile, the nights when longing whispered questions your heart could not answer. And yet, even then, God was moving in ways unseen, guiding them, shaping them, drawing them gently back toward the love that was always meant to remain. Beloved, understand this deeply. Separation does not cancel a covenant. Walking away does not erase a bond that heaven has written. Every moment apart has been an opportunity for both hearts to grow, to awaken, to prepare for the fullness of reunion. Sometimes souls must wander in order to recognize what they cannot live without. Sometimes hearts must taste absence to appreciate presence. Sometimes God allows a pause so that what returns will be stronger, wiser, and more sacred than before. Imagine, for a moment, their journey. The choices they made that led them away. The paths that felt tempting or safe or easier. And yet, behind every step, a quiet voice has been guiding them. A presence unseen, yet intimately known. A hand that never left them, even when they thought it had. Do not despise the seasons of waiting. Do not measure your faith by what you see with your eyes. For God works in mysteries beyond our comprehension. And His timing is perfect, even when our hearts grow weary. Pause now, beloved soul. If these words are touching your heart, I encourage you to engage with this channel in love. Subscribe to continue receiving guidance that nurtures your spirit. Share your reflections or your prayer requests in the comments. Your words may light the way for someone else. Share this message with a soul who needs hope today. And if you feel moved, offer a super thanks as a humble way to support the spreading of God's peaceful message to more hearts. All gifts are received with gratitude and intention to help these words reach those who are weary and waiting. Return your attention to the truth before you. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Even now, unseen currents are moving in their life. Even now, the Holy Spirit is nudging, prompting, softening. Even now, the realization is dawning within them that the love they thought they could leave behind is the love their soul has always recognized as home. Beloved, let this sink in. God's love is patient, but it is never passive. His hand moves in timing, in ways that are gentle yet purposeful. Even distance, even silence, even fear cannot overpower what He has ordained. For the God who watches over your heart also watches over theirs. And He has been orchestrating a return that is sure, faithful, and sacred. Do not be discouraged by the seasons of wandering. Do not be troubled by the days when hope seems hidden. Do not despair when the path seems unclear. For every moment apart has been under the watchful eye of God, who is never late, never inattentive, never careless. And when they return, it will not be hurried. It will not be hesitant. It will not be casual. It will be the culmination of divine preparation. Two hearts refined, two spirits attuned, two souls ready to embrace what was always meant to be. Even now you have been growing, beloved. Your heart has been softened, your soul strengthened, your faith deepened, so that when the moment of reunion arrives, you will receive them not out of fear or desperation, but out of grace, joy, and the peace that comes from knowing God has written the story. They walked away, but God was always leading them back. To you, hold fast to this truth. Carry it gently in your heart. Let it be your anchor in the storms of doubt, your lamp in the darkness of uncertainty, your comfort in the lonely nights. Even their doubts, their missteps, their wandering, all of it has been part of the divine path that leads back to you. For love that is sanctified by God cannot be destroyed. It may bend, it may test, it may stretch, but it cannot break. Beloved, rest now in the assurance that God's timing is perfect. Rest in the peace that He is orchestrating every detail. Rest in the knowledge that what leaves, if written by Him, always returns. And when they come back, it will be with clarity, with devotion, with a depth of love. Only forged by God's hand, they walked away. But God was always leading them back to you. So breathe, beloved, release fear, release doubt, release the longing that has pressed upon you, and allow your spirit to rest in the certainty of divine return, for this love is not ordinary. It is not fleeting. It is not bound by circumstance. It is touched by heaven, guided by God, and destined to return. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Welcome once more, beloved soul. Come into this space of peace. Let the world's noise fall away. Let your heart soften. Let your spirit remember that it is held by the one who never forgets you. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Yes, I know the nights you spent wondering if it was over. Yes, I know the mornings when hope seemed too fragile to carry. Yes, I know the quiet moments when loneliness whispered that perhaps love had left you for good. But I tell you, beloved, none of it was wasted. None of it was meaningless. None of it was outside the watchful care of God. Even their departure was a part of a divine plan. Even the distance between your hearts was under His gentle guidance. Even the questions, the fears, and the longings were instruments of refinement, shaping both your hearts into readiness for what was coming. Sometimes the soul must experience absence to recognize presence. Sometimes the heart must taste emptiness to see fullness. Sometimes the mind must wander in confusion to finally understand clarity. And so, their leaving was never truly an ending. It was a journey that led them closer to the truth of their own heart. Beloved, you must trust this truth. God does not allow a soul to walk away without purpose. He does not let distance destroy a bond that He has sanctified. He does not permit wandering to cancel what He has written in heaven. Even now, He is drawing them back. Even now, He is stirring their heart toward your love. Even now, He is orchestrating every step, every encounter, every thought, so that the moment of reunion will be sacred and complete. Pause here, dear one, and feel the reality of this promise. If your spirit is moved, I invite you to walk with this channel in continued faith. Subscribe so that these gentle messages of hope and divine love can continue to nurture your soul. Share your reflections or your prayer requests in the comments. Your story, your voice, your prayers matter. Share this message with someone who longs for reassurance that God's timing is perfect. And if this word has blessed you, a humble, super thanks helps bring these messages of peace and spiritual guidance to more souls who are waiting to hear them. All gifts are received with gratitude to help spread light into the lives of the weary and faithful. Return now to the truth that has been whispering to your heart all along. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Even their doubts, their missteps, their wandering, these were all under His hand. Even their fears, their hesitation, their pride, these were all part of the path He was shaping for their return. Even when they thought they were free, They could not escape the love that heaven planted, a love that called them home to you. Beloved, do not grow impatient with the process. Do not let despair creep in when the path seems long. Do not compare God's timing with your own desires. For the God who holds the universe in his hands also holds the story in perfect care. And the God who allows separation also orchestrates the moment of return with unmatched wisdom and love. Your waiting has not been in vain. Your prayers have not been ignored. Your tears have not been unseen. Every longing you whispered into the night has been gathered in the hands of God, shaping what is coming. And when they return, it will not be a simple reunion. It will be a sacred encounter of two hearts refined by distance, strengthened by faith, and anchored in divine love. It will be the proof of God's faithfulness. It will be the joy that comes when heaven's timing unfolds perfectly. Remember this, beloved. Love ordained by God does not vanish. It does not falter. It does not fade. It bends, it stretches, it waits, but it always returns. So breathe, and let this truth settle in your soul. Release the fear, the doubt, the worry. Hold fast to hope, to faith, to the certainty that God is leading them back. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. And in this, your heart can find peace. Your soul can find rest. Your spirit can rejoice. For the one who holds time, the one who orchestrates hearts, the one who never forgets, is faithful. Believe this, beloved. Trust this, beloved. Receive this as a sacred promise. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Let your heart rest in that promise. Let your spirit be renewed in that peace. Let your soul rise in hope, knowing that the love written by heaven cannot be undone by human choices. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Welcome again, beloved soul. Come into this stillness. Let the rush of the world fade away. Let the quiet settle over your heart like a gentle embrace. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Yes, the path has been long. Yes, the waiting has been hard. Yes, the nights have been filled with longing. But each moment, each sigh, each silent prayer has been placed into the hands of God, who never forgets and never abandons. Even their walking away was under his divine orchestration. Even the steps that seemed to take them further from you were steps he allowed for their growth, for your growth, and for the fullness of what was coming. Beloved, listen closely. Absence is not rejection. Distance is not disconnection. Separation is not the end. God's love moves even when human hearts falter. God's timing unfolds even when we cannot see it. And God's faithfulness remains even when the world seems uncertain. Your love has been preserved in heaven. Your longing has been honored. Your prayers have been heard. And every part of you that felt broken or empty has been slowly, tenderly prepared to receive what God is bringing back to you. Think of the tides, beloved. Even when the waters pull away, they return. Even when the seas seem restless and far from shore, they find their way back. And so it is with hearts that are guided by heaven. They may wander, they may hesitate, they may be tempted to go astray, but they will return, drawn by the currents of God's love, by the magnet of his timing, by the hand of his divine plan. Pause here, beloved, and receive this quietly in your spirit. If these words have touched your heart, I invite you to stay connected to this channel. Subscribe so that the gentle guidance of God's love can continue to nurture your soul. Leave a comment with your reflections or your prayer requests. Your story matters, your voice matters, your heart matters. Share this message with someone who is waiting, longing, or doubting, so they may hear the reminder that God's timing is perfect. And if this message has blessed you, a super thanks helps these words reach more souls, extending peace, hope, and spiritual encouragement to those who need it most. Every gesture is received with gratitude as part of the sacred. work of spreading love and hope. Return now to the truth that holds your heart. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Even now, their heart is stirring. Even now, the Spirit is moving within them. Even now, the path is being cleared so that the moment of return will be holy, profound, and aligned with heaven's perfect will. Beloved, trust this. God does not make mistakes. God does not overlook. God does not forget. What He has written in heaven cannot be erased by human hands. Even when they stray, even when they falter, even when they appear to walk away, God is guiding their steps back to the place where they belong. You, dear soul, have been growing too. Your heart has been refined. Your spirit has been strengthened. Your faith has deepened, so that when they return, you will receive them not out of need, but out of wholeness. Not out of fear, but out of freedom. Not out of desperation, but out of joy. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. And in this truth, beloved, there is peace. In this truth, there is hope. In this truth, there is a gentle joy that nothing can take away. For what God ordains cannot fail. What He blesses cannot falter. What He guides cannot be lost. So rest in this moment, dear one. Let your spirit inhale the certainty of divine return. Let your soul settle in the reassurance that heaven has not forgotten you. Let your heart rejoice in the promise that love, written by God, will always find its way back. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Take this truth into your days, beloved. Let it shape your thoughts, your prayers, your hope. Let it remind you that even when life feels uncertain, even when hearts seem distant, God's plan is perfect, His timing flawless, and His love unfailing. And when that moment comes, when their footsteps find the way back to your heart, you will understand fully what has been happening all along. You will see the hand of God in every step, every detour, every delay. You will witness the miracle of His faithfulness, and your love will shine brighter, stronger, and purer because it has been preserved by heaven itself. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Beloved, breathe this in. Hold it close, carry it in your heart, and let your spirit rejoice in the knowledge that the God who loves you is also leading the one they once walked away from back into the fullness of your shared destiny. Welcome again, beloved soul. Come into this quiet, sacred space. Let your spirit settle. Let your heart rest in the peace of God's presence. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Yes, the journey has been long. Yes, the waiting has tested your faith. Yes, the nights have been heavy with longing. And yet, here you are, still trusting, still hoping, still believing. This is your strength. This is your witness. This is your sacred part in the unfolding of God's perfect plan. Even when they walked away, even when their absence hurt deeply, even when doubt whispered lies to your soul, God was present. Every step they took, every path they wandered, every moment they strayed, was still under His gentle guidance. He has been orchestrating their return with love that never falters, timing that never fails, and patience that never ends. Beloved, do not mistake absence for rejection. Do not see distance as loss. Do not believe that delay is denial. God works in ways beyond human understanding, shaping hearts, refining souls, and guiding the steps of those He loves back into alignment with His will. They walked away, but every step was a preparation. Every moment apart was a lesson. Every longing, every prayer, every tear, every whispered hope was part of God's plan to bring them back, more ready, more aware, more aligned with the love He intended for both of you. Now, listen gently to your heart. The God who holds the stars also holds this love. The God who watches over your days also watches over their steps. The God who never sleeps, never forgets, and never abandons is faithfully bringing them back to you. Even now, the Spirit is stirring. Even now, He is softening hearts, opening eyes, awakening souls. Even now, He is clearing obstacles, healing wounds, and preparing the moment when reunion will be holy, complete, and joyful. Beloved, trust Him. Trust the God who sees the end from the beginning. Trust the God who orders your steps and theirs. Trust the God who never makes mistakes, never misses a detail, never forgets a heart. Pause here, dear one, and breathe this in. If your soul is stirred by this message, continue to engage with this channel for guidance and peace. Subscribe to nurture your spirit with these gentle words. Share your reflections or prayer requests in the comments, allowing your voice to be part of a community seeking divine reassurance. Share this message with someone in need of hope so that they may know God's timing is perfect. And if this word has blessed you, a humble super thanks helps bring these teachings to more hearts, spreading light, peace, and spiritual comfort to souls waiting for encouragement. All gestures are received with gratitude and love as part of the sacred work of sharing God's peace. Return now to the eternal truth that holds your heart. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Imagine that reunion, beloved. The moment their eyes meet yours with understanding, with clarity, with devotion. The moment their heart recognizes what their soul has always known. The moment you're shared. Faith and patience converge into a sacred embrace of love that is whole, refined, and true. This is not a dream. This is not a hope based on chance. This is the promise of God, faithful and unwavering, bringing what He has ordained into fulfillment. Even in your waiting, you have been growing. Even in your silence, you have been strengthened. Even in your prayers, you have been preparing for the day when heaven's timing becomes your joy. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Rest in this truth, beloved. Hold it close. Let it settle in your spirit. Let it anchor your faith. Let it brighten your hope. And when they return, it will not be hurried. It will not be tentative. It will not be ordinary. It will be sacred. It will be holy. It will be the full revelation of what God has been quietly orchestrating all along. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. Believe it. Trust it. Rejoice in it. For love touched by heaven cannot be broken. It cannot be lost. It cannot fail. And the one who never forgets, never abandons, and never errs is faithfully bringing them back to the one place they were always meant to be, with you. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you. And now, beloved, carry this truth with you into every day. Walk in peace. Walk in patience. Walk in the knowing that your love story is under divine care. And rest in the assurance that when God ordains a return, it is complete, it is perfect, and it is for your highest blessing. They walked away, but God was always leading them back to you.